Our students, Brian Proctor, the art teacher, back again with another video, and this is going to be an action pose position. And I'm talking fast because I tried to make this a 10-minute video, but it didn't work. So this is the finished product, and I was going to say something because I filmed the drawing first, and now I'm doing the intro last, and it was something I was going to say, but I forgot. Other than I was trying to make a 10-minute video, but it didn't work. So this is the final product. I may ink it later. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, let's go into the video since it lasts a little more than 10 minutes, and then you can end up drawing this with me. All right, let's go. All right, so let's get going. Starting out with the torso, of course, I'm gonna try to make this a little bigger, maybe a little darker so you guys can see that. And don't try to make this too big. Don't try to make the torso too big or too long. A lot of times I will do that. I'll make it too long. And then we want to get the tuna can up under here, which is your waist. And then, of course, the upside down house. And that could be a little fat. I can always slim it down. And then I'm going to put his head here. Make that head big enough. And, of course, at the base of that neck is going to be that collarbone. So I want to take that collarbone, and because he's leaning over, it's going to be in the center. This collarbone is going to be into the center of that delt, and this one is going to be more down. So what I want to do is I'm going to put his hand right here, and you already seen the finished product. I have not finished it yet, so I filmed that part after I finish the drawing. And the other hand is about right here. So he's going to be holding on to a pole or a staff or a sword or something. But I was going to do a sword, but I didn't want it to cover up his face. I can do a low sword. We'll see. I don't know. You've seen it already. I haven't seen it yet. So you know at this point more than I do when it comes to what this thing's going to look like. So this is going to be his fingers, and his palm is going to be right there. And like I said, I could do a low sword covering up his, no, because this would have to be the handle of the sword. We'll see, we'll see. So we're going to put this leg up. Of course, it's going to go right here. This is just a cylinder, oval, sorry, cylinder. I'm going to put the knee right here, and we're going to bend this, take this out. Curve this down, bring this out and down. Don't want to make it too long. It's going to be high here and go low there, not too high. It's going to be in here and come out there, and leg is going to be here, and you're going to catch part of the buttocks right here. This other one is going to be low, so I'm going to keep that all in one line. And if this foot is here, straight down and out. That foot is on the ground here. My line is going to be crooked because I always do crooked lines. Thankfully, I've been working on my comics, so I've got this ruler right here, so I can do a straight line. Not a ruler, it's a triangle. So I can do that straight line. So that that knee would not be on that line. That knee is back, so it's going to be about like right there, and then just put the foot, and then knee is here, touching that. So that foot is going to be even higher up. So the toe is going to be about right there. So I'm going to bring that up right here, like that. So you got this one line here, and you have the one line there that gives it, that goes back in perspective look. So we have that. Make that leg a little thicker. So we're going to have this one arm coming up here, or coming down here. And because this delt is now blocked, you won't see it. So I'm going to give him his elbow right there, and you could put it right here. The bicep right here, and his delt would be there. So this arm is going to go back. So let's do this delt right here. So since this is still leaning, The delt is going to be about right here. So we have one up and one kind of almost across, but because he's leaning, you're still going to get that V shape right there. So let's say this hand is going to be here. These are the knuckles and these are the fingers. Like that. And then you're not going to see too much of the back of the hand. This is why I have the palm right here. And this is going to be bent, going down and back. Turn your paper. I need to either clean my glasses or I need to turn on my light. And then this arm is going to connect with that. Give him a little bicep, tricep, should I say. So this bone is going to be down here for that elbow. And then it's going to come up there. So we have this, and we're going to have that lat come out because that arm is out. So I'm going to what's the word? Slim him up a little bit, or muscularize him. So we have this. We have the shoulder. It's going to be high up. His face is going to be looking down, but he's looking up at us at the same time. If you're having trouble drawing the head, do a rectangle first, just a kind of a square. So wherever you put that mouth, let's just say if he's looking up, let's just say his nose is going to be here, his mouth is going to be there. Then draw that line all the way across like that, and that's where you bend, where you bring your line in for that chin. Because that jaw is right there across the mouth line. You should know that by now, unless you're just starting to draw, which means the ears are going to be up higher. You can always bring that in. Of course, you want to cut that mouth down because it looks like a robot. And then I'll fix that chin later. So that bicep could be further down like this. The tricep, bicep could be further down. That. So this is going to be the chest. This is going to be the bottom of the chest. It's going to come up and around. So I did drop that down. So the chest is going to be like this. Curving around. This delt is coming up here. So this chest is there. It'll bring that out a little bit more. You can see that. So that center line is going to be here. Bring that waist up and around and that in like that. I've got this all the way zoomed in, almost all the way zoomed in. So the crotch is here, so you got the room for that junk. And because this is kind of more of a low angle, you're going to see some buttocks, just a little bit. It connects to that leg. As I say, bring this up higher to give them a little more thicker. Bring it over, and that knee is going to be here. That ankle, foot. Don't like that foot. Flatten it out. 8 minutes. I thought I was going to do this in 10 minutes. I don't know if I mentioned it in the beginning. I planned on mentioning it. I don't know if I did or not. If I did, and I'm going past 10 minutes, then I lied. So this is going to be here. This rib is going to be right there. Chest out more. This is that. We got that here. And I'm going to see what I can do if I can shadow this thing without butchering it up. this is a little bit long for me. Maybe not, maybe so, maybe not. It is. Just a tad bit. That is, I'm looking at it in the monitor. That is a little better. So if I'm gonna have this here, I'm gonna have to bring this and then this over because he's going to the side. Bring this in because that leg is fat. The thickness of the leg is not fat, it's just the thickness. And then I said this knee is going to be on the ground right here. So this foot is going to be about right there. So I'm going to bring that up again. Down, and that toe right there. I'm thinking, is this a little too long? Is that a little too long? I would say about 1 millimeter because this is too far for me. Trying to get these proportions right because, as I said, I am working on my comic book again. I finally picked it up again to bring the clown back to life. He never died, but I just have not done it in a while. Inside ankle is higher than the lower ankle. So if you do this, like the triangle with a rounded off, this is going to be like at the top of that peak, and this is at the bottom, lower. Much better. Now, if I stop for a while and looked at it, I can pick out some things that I'm not really happy about, but it's already 11 minutes, 51 seconds. Let me bring this in more because this shoulder is going to be a little closer. So his arm's going to go in more. Better. So the hard part is done. Now it's defining the muscles, adding shadow to it. So this is going to be his right there. You're not going to see that. The love handle, which goes down into the crotch. This can come in more. It can probably be shifted a little more. Since I passed the 10-minute mark, I'm not going to stress too much over it. All right, lift up the bottom of my, you can't see it, but it's a little shelf down here for putting your paper, keeping your paper, resting your paper on so that if you do this, use a triangle, you'll have that straight line. So if his foot is here, this is going to be on that same line as his foot. Now I could probably put a blade down here, some type of something. Of course, that's a boring, you know. If I had enough room, I could just put like a dinosaur or something and he's stabbing a dinosaur or something like that. But that was not the original thought. The original thought was just getting this drawing out. So let's pencil this guy and turn my light on because I'm not going to be able to see when I use a pencil. All right, so let's get this hand. Knuckles. And then this is going to be probably where the fingers end. Not end, but the joint. And this pencil should be sharpened. Which I think I will go ahead and do that. This is going to kill another 30 seconds off of the drawing, of the time. Always have a sharp pencil when you draw. So brought this down so you won't see that delta because it's covering that delta. Let's see what I can do with this face. So you won't see the nose and you will barely see the mouth. And the center eye, so you will see the other eye. Wow, how do you, okay, there you go. Just for a second, I forgot how to draw that little shape. This eyebrow. So I want to have his eyes like almost closed, almost like he's bowing before the master or the king or whatever, but I just want just a little bit of opening. As I said, you won't see the nose, you won't see the brow. So that cheekbone is going to be like right here and down here. You won't see the chin. Again, you won't see the nose. You won't see too much of the face. So ear. And I could do some hair or some kind of helmet or whatever, but I'm not going to do that. So, trying to think of the shape. Of that, this would be in shadow, so I would do this. That would be in shadow. This would be a lot of shadow here. Lat. Here's your, I forgot what that was called. Serratus or serratus. And then you're going to have some little muscle here, or some wrinkle to that muscle here. A delt. That's going to be round, so you're going to see this part of the, wow, what you're naming muscles right now? I don't know, Brian. That's a trap. That's part of his trap. Trapezius muscle. Delt. That bicep is going to curve around here, and it could be there. And we're going to have this straight, this line here. There's extra muscles here. Bring that in. I don't want the wrist too thick. And we are going to see just a little bit of that back wrist, back of the hand. Just a little bit, so that thing is going to come right out here. So his palm is going to be here. Pushing up against it. This all could be black here. His rib cage is going to come down here and then go up. So his first set of abs could go right here. His second set could go right where I have that line. And it's 2, 4, and actually I usually do more than 6 on most of my characters. I don't know why, it's just me. I'll change it again anyway. I need to draw through, because this should be there and this should be there. And problem with YouTube is if I put a face on the person, make it too detailed, they'll swear that I'm drawing nude people and kind of flag me. A little demonetized thing. Give that a little bit of roundness. 20 minutes. You know, how do you people do it with your little 10-minute videos? Little. Yeah, you know, that's when women get mad at you. They call everything little. Go out with your little friends. Go watch your little football game. It's like, why does it have to be little? But then, you know, but belittling what I like to do. So, or belittling what you like to do. It's going to be dark. It's going to curve around because this is going up. If I have to do feathering, which I don't like because it means like you got to feather everything. You just get to that habit where I got to feather it. This is my crotch. This is the back, which is going to be black. Maybe some black under here, but I'll just feather that. Darken this. Bring that down. Same thing here. And you draw your solid shapes first. If I'm going to do a muscle or shadow, draw that solid shape, fill it in. Then figure out if I want to do the little feathering on it. Just like if I did here, I probably wouldn't bring it all the way down, just this. And then kind of feather it out like that. Maybe bring it down a little bit more, but I wouldn't have it all the way to the, and I could, to this bottom line. I could, but decided not to. And then it's good to break up some of your lines too. Let's just say I do this as far as I would take it. Instead of having everything connect like some, you know, study mannequin. That is a little long there, so I will chop that off. This foot would be black because it's in the back. You know, I kind of like to leave my edge light on a lot of things so that you can tell that there's more light there coming from somewhere. Is it reflective light? Is it edge light? I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna stop saying I'm going to find out what it actually is, reflective or edge lighting. Same thing here. I'll take this one all the way and then maybe some feathering there. The stomach, since he is leaning, did I do this chest? Let's do this chest. Since he is leaning forward, you know it's going to be dark here. I don't know. Let's do this. Let's darken this whole thing. And then I can do this with the chest. I can take this up a little bit more. Maybe actually give some light down there. And dark. This probably needs to be darker. All needs to be dark. I will leave a light here to separate where the muscles go and darken the rest. I'll do that. Leave that shape almost kind of like this arm is coming up here and going up. I could actually extend it here if I choose to, but I'll leave some light here. And I can like feather that out. Keep going with the dark because there is a line right here. There is an indentation right here for the abs come in. And I can, this is why I ink my own stuff, because a lot of inkers would not understand, because I'm a messy drawer. I'm not gonna say the whole thing is messy, but whenever I decide to do inks or my roughs, I just draw really messy. So I don't think too many people could understand what I was going for. And I'll just do shadow right here just to distinguish where that leg and that pole is. And I can do something like this. I don't know what that's called, but I can do that. And then maybe a little bit up here on the other leg. Sorry if I pulled it down too far. So I can do some striations in the chest. Same here. Oh yeah, this you always have to put some shadow in that delt to give that form, just like the bottom of the biceps. So I'll leave that one though. And then there is the separation between your bicep and tricep, because there's a muscle right down the bottom. There's a muscle that is in between. And that there is part of the other part of the elbow. This is dark, this is dark, this is there. I could do some kind of like down here, shadow down here, and kind of feather it out. And the foot, I could do, where's the shadow, depending on the light, because I never really had a light source, which is really screwed up. You always do a light source. If you choose to do a lot of shadow, have your light source. So I'll just do this, I'll leave that one open, and then I'll do this. And then just kind of feather that on out. Maybe under here a little bit. And I could just add a little, just something here just to fill in that little blank space. As far as the head, I could do shadow under the eye. Shadow under the other eye. Actually, it would come right up on the eye, but I'm not going to bring it up under the eye. So this would be shadowed realistically. That would be shadowed realistically. Under here. Under the mouth, which you wouldn't see. Under the chin, which you wouldn't see. And let's just, what did I say? Since this is shadow, let's just assume the light is coming from this way. Assuming that this guy's bald. So this is in front of him. Two things, it would be thicker line, and the shadow would not go across his head like I was about to do. This could be shadowed here. Save a lot of problems. And then I'll feather that shadow out on the muscles on that wrist. And if you saw some palm, which would be there, a little bit of shadow under the fingers. You could do the knuckles, shadow under the knuckles to show. And this is when you get crazy detail. This is like when you're starting to do comics. You add all of this extra stuff. And I could do some type of feathering to show that, you know, the light is up top there, and the chest is open. So if that's the center line of the chest, I can do something like this just to show, and then just, you know, some extra little pieces there to show he's got some good cuts going on. This is, I said I wanted to do something with that. I didn't want that to be, so this is dark because this is a cut in. This is good. This is this, and then you have these extra cuts that go across there. So I'm just going to make this part dark right up under the chest and leave that. I can always do this, kind of like that. My chest again, shadow for my chest. And without overdoing it, let me do a little bit this. I can say this is going to be it. I mean, I can collarbone. I can probably, is that the collarbone here? Was the collarbone there? No, yeah, collarbone has got to be, it's up high, so a heavy eraser. The collarbone is high up. Maybe not that high, but it is high up. Going into the delt, which this would be black back here. And we did that already, and I can like do cross hatching there. This would be dark down here because his neck is there. It would be dark in there. You would probably have a shadow, some type of shadow from the face. Not necessarily, but he could. And the stick is way in front of him, so there would be no shadow falling on him somewhere. And I could do more shadow on his face because that's the side of it, but I'm not going to do any more. A little bit of indentation right there, a little bit of identification or whatever I would call that. You know, I could do something like this on that chest, kind of gives it that little curve in. And figure out some kind of awesome weapon that he could be using. I mean, I could, let's just say this. Let's say this. Since I'm doing it, I don't know, let's just make something up. It could be like this ball. On this ball, there is a spike. This is the bottom. This is the bottom of his weapon, spike. And on the sides, it could be spikes too. Now, something to hold it in place, a wider piece of metal, a wider base for it to hold on, which goes into another piece, which goes into another piece. You always want to add detail to stuff, just, you know, weird detail to make stuff look more interesting. Not the wave pencil. See, I hate this. It's like, to me, it's like a little roach running to you. But when you have a junky desk, you know, what can you expect? So this is round. So if he switches up, he can beat you with the ball. And since I have that, let's add this shadow to it. And this, because this is silver, or this is silver. This is a metal. I wouldn't do this like that. I wouldn't add, just keep the shadows right. You probably can, but I wouldn't. Not this ball anyway. And shadow down the bottom, shadow here. And if I inked it, which I don't know, I might not. But if I do, you won't see it inked. You can have more, you see more detail to it because of the line weight and so forth. So here, let me do that in pencil. "34 minutes. Sorry, can't get that 10-minute. I'm gonna watch some more 10-minute videos and just see what they do, how they do it. That line is, let me do this. Let me do this. Let me get a darker pencil with a thicker line. Do you not have a pencil? You just bought a pencil set. I have a... Come on, Brian. Okay. Get my light back up here. Let's just use it. Get my light back up here. Stop falling. Let's just use... Is it here? That's an H2. Just grab a pencil. Time is a wasting. All right, we're going to do this. We're going to use this mechanical pencil. I really wanted a darker line, thicker line. And the shadow. Okay, I just blocked the whole picture. The shadow from the ruler is right in my way, affecting my line. So I want this a little darker, thicker, so that you can definitely tell that this thing is in front of him. As I said, if I inked it, I would use some line weight for the staff or spear or whatever this thing is going to be. So now you see that it is in front of him. And okay, I'm just gonna make something up real quick. Just a blade. So I'm gonna have this is what's holding the blade. The little 3 pieces here, and we have this piece there, and this is going to be holding the metal piece. Is that straight? It's straight enough. Straight enough, and I can do a line down here, sculpted metal piece. And then underneath this, something like that. And this. And then make it a little wider. That, which I could have stabbed in, it could have been in the ground, just broke the ground up a little bit. Pieces of the ground. Because he stabbed it. And that's almost even, almost even. And if I chose, I could have, like this side is dark because of the light. And then, I'll get this out just a little bit more. And then I could either have like the sharpened edge like this, or I could just have some lines indicating light or reflective light. Also, I could do a line in the center of this. And you see that double shadow that this light is making. So I need to move it over, and I need my darker pencil again. And I can just have, since the light is coming from that side, I will have a little dark shadow right here. There you go. And that almost looks like something I didn't want. It's like there's a thing in it. So, for the sake of just messing up with a darker pencil, I'm going to put some lines through here. Erase the face coming out of here with an eraser, Brian. I could have just made the whole black. Let's throw that away. The whole staff black. And just left a light source on the side. So there we have a finished picture in 38 minutes. Probably less. No, more, because I haven't done an intro yet. The intro is going to be at least 7 to 8 seconds. So I could do line work. That is, if I had a ink pen with me, or if I decided to ink it. So cut the light off, and everything's blurred to me, but you guys can see it. So that's going to be it for this video, this action pose position. give that a try. Hopefully I explained it enough that you guys can understand it. And put some shadow down here. See, I can keep going because when I start drawing, to me, that's just like, you know, that's my relief. Sometimes I don't eat all day if I'm drawing, because that's a joy for me. So that's gonna be it. I'm about to ramble. I almost caught myself. And I will see you guys in the other video. If you like this, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, if you have subscribed, give me a thumbs up and a like. That really helps me, because sometimes I just get like, why am I doing this? Get 200 views, you know? So yeah, thinking of quitting and just doing comics full time. So that's gonna be it. See you guys in the next video.